Welcome to the AI Queens podcast, the show where women entrepreneurs learn to ditch the overwhelm, embrace AI, and build businesses fit for royalty. I'm Erica Stanley, your host and tech expert, here to deliver tools, tips, and actionable strategies to help you scale smarter. Let's get to it. Welcome, Queens. Welcome back to the AI Queens podcast. Today, you are in for such a treat because my guest is Blume Bauer, who you may have seen on YouTube. She is a fine arts illustrator, a creative business educator, and founder of The Yellow Studio, where she has spent 30 years teaching artists how to turn their craft into real income through print on demand, branding, and now AI tools. Her philosophy is all about slow living and big money. She is joining us and creates from the Oregon coast, and she live streams on YouTube 5 nights a week. Blume, welcome to the AI Queens podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Erica. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so happy. Blume and I have had conversations and been talking about her coming on the podcast. So I'm glad we're finally making it happen. I want to start off with the question that I like to ask all of my guests. There is a lot of BS floating around about AI. And I want to know from you, what is the biggest BS that you hear that you're just like, no, that is not true at all?
I love this question. In the art world, the biggest myth is that AI is it's a demon. It's here to remove the ability for artists to make a living and wipe out the idea that handmade art has any value. And I really feel like people are craving more human connection than ever. And the more AI increases, the more people want handmade art, the more people want to see the story behind the art, the more people want it, whether the art's digital or watercolor, they still want to see that story, how it was made. They want that human interaction. I really feel like the more AI art is made, or the more AI takes over certain jobs for us and does more work for us, the more that handmade element and that handmade craft is going to become more and more valuable. I even see, like, very soon people typing on typewriters, writing out letters or
Yes.
poems or books even that way, because people are we crave our human nature, and our human nature is what other people want too. And so I really don't think that AI is going to take away our art. It's going to just expand who's able to make art, for one thing, and then also just make handmade art more and more and more valuable.
Oh my gosh, I totally agree. And I see what you're seeing. The increase in the kids these days. The kids these days, they're calling them granny hobbies. Really, they're just they are what my grandmas taught my sister and I how to do when we would go stay with them for summer vacation. So how to make jelly, how to sew and quilt and crochet. And I mean, the art of the mixtape, and I mean like actual cassette tape, the art of the mixtape is coming back.
Yes.
People don't want like a Spotify playlist anymore. They like cassette players, Walkmans are coming back. Oh my gosh, I wish I had kept my yellow Sony Walkman, because it would be a hot commodity right now.
It would. I bought my niece. That's what I got my niece 2 years ago for Christmas, was a Walkman that holds cassettes,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I was just laughing hysterically purchasing it.
Yep. The analog is coming back. And I think it's because we are all being hit over the head so much all day, every day, with not just AI, but the algorithm and tracking in our phones, and just digital is everywhere and you can't escape it. But we still want to be able to listen to music. We still want to be able to create things with our hands,
Hmm.
and getting back to that analog. It's a trend for a reason.
It is. Even I feel it. Even I feel it. I've been making AI art now for 2 years, a little over 2 years, and My husband's building me a she shed in the yard, and I'm so excited because what am I going to do in that she shed? I'm going to make physical art again. I'm going to have a space where I can put out all my paints or glue, or I'm talking glue because I really want to make collage art again.
I love
And so
that.
I'm going to lay out all my bits of pieces of magazine in there, and my canvas and my glues and my brushes. And I'm going to make collage again. And I'm going to be able to go in there for an hour, leave it all out, and come back to work and go back to it again whenever I have time.
Yeah.
And so I'm loving that. And what's funny is he thought the first thing I would want for that she shed is to be another space to go live on YouTube or another space to work. And I was like, no, this is my space to make handmade things again. And
Oh,
it's
it's
just,
your unplugged studio.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
really
that's
excited
so
about it.
cool. That's so cool. I'm a little jealous. That sounds amazing.
It's very exciting. I'm so excited. I'm going to paint the entire inside yellow also.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Brand.
All right. So you are making AI art. You've been doing this for a couple of years now. You've got like a good system. I want to know, and this is a new question that I'm asking my guests. What is the biggest problem that you are solving with AI?
Oh, it's a huge problem for artists. It's kind of multifaceted really, because the things that artists have trouble doing are writing their artist statement, marketing their art, creating content for social media, making product mock-ups. If once they do go the product route, or even if they just have their fine art, they don't have a way to showcase it unless they hire a professional photographer and have a set and all of this stuff. And so the way I'm helping solve problems with AI is by teaching artists 5 days a week how to use these tools to build a business that is sustainable and gives them their time back and gives them a lot of confidence, incidentally, too, I think, because you go from not being able to write your artist statement. You go from that white blank paper and not knowing how to brag about yourself as an artist. Most of us are very insecure about our art. It's okay. It's good. It's not done. We say these sorts of things. It's not perfect. These are the sorts of things when people compliment us that we say back. And so we're not good at bragging about ourselves. We're not good at marketing ourselves, but the AI is. And so when we tell AI what we do, and we even show it some of our art. You upload a piece of art and say, what do you think of this? And it will tell you the nuances and the things that are special about it versus everyone else's art. And it just gives you this huge sense of self-confidence and ability to build a real business around it. And that's what I want to solve. I want to solve that poor artist enigma, if you want to call it that, that we all suffer with, that you're supposed to just be this poor artist that never makes a dollar off your art.
Yep, the stereotype of the starving artist.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay, so let me mirror this back to you to make sure that I'm hearing what I'm hearing. You've been making AI art. You want to debunk the myth that AI is this big monster that's coming for artists.
Yeah.
And yet, you are not teaching artists how to use AI to make art. You are instead using AI to teach them how to do all of the non art related things that it takes to run a business so that they can have more time to create more art.
Yes. Yes.
I just mind blown. Yes. Yes, girl. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I feel like that was a little valley girl and I apologize to my listeners right now. But this is so cool. So from the artist perspective, if you've got an artist that you're working with, and I'm just going to use painting because I feel like that is the most, for a non-artist, that is the easiest thing for their brain to click into and be like, oh yeah, it's an art, it's a paint artist, it's a
Yeah.
painter. They are continuing to paint, continuing to make the thing, to do the thing that they love doing. And now they are able to use AI. Say they have a website. They can use AI to create the descriptions for those pieces, to improve the SEO on those pages that are selling
Mm-hmm.
those pieces.
Yep.
to potentially create the captions for the posts that they are putting on Instagram that show the behind the scenes of them actually painting the
Yeah.
pieces. So
Yeah.
all of those things that as a business owner we all have to do, but that have really nothing to do with the thing that we love and the reason that we launched our business in the first place. You are teaching them how to use AI to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And AI can make the actual website too. You don't even have to make the website anymore.
Hey now, I make websites. Let's no. No, I'm kidding. No. I mean, yeah, AI can do so much. Yes, it can help make their website.
It can. And it's just, it's not going to be, is it going to be as special as an Erica Stanley website? Probably not. But is it going to be as nuanced? Is it going to have the perfect branding or whatever? Probably not. But you know what? So many artists don't have a website just because they have no idea how to
Yep.
even get there. And they don't have any money yet because they haven't got a website. They haven't started selling their art yet. That there's this whole cart before the horse thing that keeps happening for artists where how am I supposed to know how to do all these business things if I don't even know how to start and I don't even know how to get a business up and running? How
Yeah.
am I going to learn those business things? And so now if AI can help you do those fundamental beginning things, then maybe later when your art is making tons of money, you go to someone like Erica and you get a Lisa Congdon style website, which is very on brand, very specific to her art. And it's not an AI created website because it couldn't be because it's so very artsy and specific to
Yep.
her style.
Specific to her. Yeah.
Yeah. And so maybe you get that later though when you are finally making money. But if you can't get to the point where you're making any money, you're never going to be able to hire the graphic designer to make your website.
Yep.
So it's just this vicious cycle. And now AI, I feel like, fixed that problem for artists and gives us this huge opportunity.
It it really does. And I think what you're saying holds true for a lot of other professions that are not art specific. So I know a lot of people in the entrepreneur space maybe start out as freelancers doing things on the side. So you've got a normal 9 to 5. And I know there are I know plenty of artists who are in this stage as well. So
Mhm.
you've got a regular 9 to 5, you've got a salaried position, and you are doing the thing that you love as a quote unquote side hustle. And
Yeah.
when you're just doing something as a side hustle, it can be difficult to want to invest the time and the money into something like a professional branding, professional website. But just like with your artists, just like with somebody else who's got, oh gosh, the friend of mine who is a phenomenal vegan baker, she started doing it just evenings and weekends. And she was making these like amazing vegan croissants. And it was her side hustle that she did while she still had her 9 to 5. And then once it became too expensive for her to stay at her job. The
Mm.
vegan baking had taken off. Then she was able to go and invest in a website. Then she was able to go and like leave her job to be able to do this. Now this is, I mean, she's been doing this for years, but imagine if she had been able to have a website before that point. Does it then
Exactly.
fast track your artists and their ability to sell their art and their ability to be able to make a true living off of their art without the side hustle?
Absolutely. And considering the fact that AI can make 30 days worth of social media content in a few seconds, things like that change the whole dynamic because that puts me back in the studio as an artist, not sitting at the computer writing captions for posts for 2 days or three
Oh,
days, however
yeah.
long it takes, because that's not our field. A writer is going to be great at that, but a painter might not be. And so there's this huge advantage now. And I think about it all the time too. Like, what if I had had this back when I started my art career. I mean, life, I didn't even have there weren't even websites. People didn't have websites when I started. So
Yep.
big companies had websites or chat boards. There were chat boards and things, but
Yep.
there wasn't, none of this even existed yet. So imagine all of that existed and you had AI. I mean, who would we be now? What would we have become? It's just
It's
wild to think about.
it's wild to think about. It's so cool seeing the increase in small businesses being formed.
Mhm.
The SBA just released numbers. I think 40% of small businesses in the last year were started by women, which is a huge increase. And I think that it, things like this have made entrepreneurship more accessible to more people, which
Mm-hmm.
is something I can totally stand behind. And even if you are not on the AI bandwagon, even if you are very anti AI, you have to admit that I guess you don't have to do anything, but it's hard to deny that the advances in technology, not just AI, but technology overall, have opened the doors for people who traditionally would have been left out of different industries, including entrepreneurship. AI is a huge help to people with neurodivergent brains. It's a huge help to people who, I mean, you got your PhD in another country. English is not your first language. You come here, you start posting on LinkedIn, and you mix up your there, and there, and people jump down your throat.
Mm-hmm.
The grammar finger waggers, like, wait a minute. Like, English is not my first language. I have a PhD from another country. Like, just the fact that I mixed up these three words does not mean I'm an idiot. And so I think that people with dyslexia, like, there are so many good things that AI can do from an accessibility standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Allow us as creatives, as creators.
Well,
Yeah, like
speaking
we,
of accessibility, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I wanted to bring this up about accessibility because we were talking about how I make AI art and I have for a couple of years now. And I also make traditional art. I do both. And what I've seen, which is really interesting, is that being able to make AI art makes art accessible to everyone all of a sudden. And I think
okay.
that could be a little bit of pushback from artists who have had to spend years learning how to paint, spend years honing their craft. But what I don't think they're getting is that there are two different things happening here. Learning how to paint oil paintings like Rembrandt is a very difficult and lengthy skill that not everyone has. And so if you have that, you still have that. Someone being able to make a digital image that looks like a Rembrandt painting ish is not the same as someone who can paint the Rembrandt painting. There are
Yes.
so many nuances in a painting. It's the skin color starts with blue, not with beige. There's all these things that are so different than a digital image. And I think that they're concerned that that now that everyone can make art, that takes away from the art they're making, and it doesn't. I want them
Ah,
to know that that doesn't take away from the years and years of what you learned. Your work is still special. Their work is special and important to them. And both can exist simultaneously and both can be equally valid. And we all can see it too in AI. Once you're in AI art, I challenge you, if you're an artist, if you're a fine artist, I challenge you to go on LinkedIn and search out some AI art and look at a bunch of it and see what's good and what's kind of not. What's just been prompted with one or two words. It's like, yeah, who cares about that image? But you'll find some that you go, whoa, they made that with AI? Because people that get really good at it and do it for years start to make some really incredible things, just like artists who paint or illustrate or watercolor or sculpt. It takes years to hone a craft, and that's the same with AI art as well. But it also gives this new accessibility to everyone, for everyone to try. Not everyone has the money to buy oil paints and canvases and or has a space to do it. Not everybody has the physical ability to use their arms and legs in a way that makes them be able to paint. But they might be able to voice prompt to an AI image generator, and now they can make some art. That's a huge thing. And I want artists to think about that. I want them to contemplate the idea that what if I couldn't make art anymore with my hands? What would I do? Maybe you could make AI art now without that ability.
I love that so much. And especially, okay, there are a couple of things that I want to like pick apart a little bit because you bring up so many good points. The the ability of somebody to use AI to create a quote Rembrandt style piece does not diminish the value of that Rembrandt. Does not diminish the value of you spending years to hone the craft of knowing how to work with oil paints.
Mm-hmm.
Just as like somebody using AI to write an email does not diminish the beauty of Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. It doesn't mean that that book isn't still amazing,
Mm-hmm.
which it is. And I don't know why that's what popped into my head just now. So gosh, that's so good. That's so good. Like it's not pie. It doesn't, just
It
because
doesn't
somebody
run out.
else, yeah, just because somebody else has a piece doesn't mean you get less.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It doesn't run out. And I really find that I'm seeing the trend. I'm going to be Gary Vee right now. I'm going to tell you the future. And I'm going to say that handmade art is going to increase in value quickly as
yes.
more and more AI art is made. It just is. It just is. I just know it. It's going to increase in value. Do you think art collectors have stopped buying Picassos and up and coming artists from art galleries that they see? No, because it's still valuable.
Yeah.
None of those things have lost value. Are Do people still guard the Mona Lisa? Yes. Like these things have not, when that goes away, sure, you can tell me I'm wrong. But until that goes away, I am not wrong. Handmade art still is valuable no matter how much AI art we make.
Oh, totally agree. And I love what you were saying about the accessibility piece. And I think, I mean, that ties into the like English speakers versus not. Like, it is allowing people to create in ways that they might not have had access to before.
I know a person with paraplegic condition, and she makes AI art. She can't make other art. That's the first time that opened my eyes to what is possible because of this. I also see other people developing art styles with AI art who have never touched a pencil or a paintbrush or anything. And they're so excited about it because they never thought that they could learn to make anything that they see in their head.
Yeah. Yes. The way that Bloom and I came to be in each other's orbit is through our mutual friend, Marisol Rios, who was on my podcast several months ago. You can go back and listen to that episode. But she talks about how she struggled to, she's been making art since she was a kid, but had never really defined her own artistic style until she
Mm-hmm.
started learning how to create AI art. And now she has a very distinct style. I love her style. And that came about. And it's so funny because you talk about we can keep going back to the Rembrandt people. We're going to call them the Rembrandt people. But what I have found when I'm working with writers with AI, and I've had two clients recently who are professional writers who are using AI. They are not using AI to write for them.
Mm-hmm.
They are using AI to help fill in the gaps where, I mean, back to the business piece of working with artists for you. But one of them is using it to help create like SEO meta descriptions, making sure she's got keywords in her blog posts because she writes these beautiful blogs. And the other one is doing something similar. And it is helping to fill in the gaps. But because both of them are incredible professional writers, when AI spits out something that is complete junk, they know it. They are able to identify it in the same way that an artist knows, okay, if I'm using AI and this is junk, they're going to know. They're going to know because they are the professional artists. Whereas somebody who is not, and I see this all the time in my field, in website design, like I can spot an AI website a mile away. And not everybody can, but they've all got that same look. And people who are just using it to create, just like, oh yeah, create a website that does XYZ, and then they just take it and don't change anything about it. There's something about that expertise, that experience, that like your lived experience that has created the version of you that is the expert, that knows what AI is crap and what is not. And I think that makes us better users of AI. The artist who is using your paraplegic friend who is using AI to create art, she knows what she is trying to get to and is honing the skill of getting there in a different way than somebody who is just coming at it with a prompt and trying to create a random thing, because she's got the experience and the expertise to know already.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the same thing I always say too, that when you go to AI Festivus, they talk about human in the loop a lot. And so I like that phrase, the human in the loop, because it makes a really succinct way to say that you still need a human in the loop. We still need a human plus AI, right?
Yep.
The AI isn't just like creating this stuff randomly with no one asking for it. We have to at least ask for something. So, and then the better we get at asking for it and the more skilled we get at asking for it, the better outcome we get. And artists have always been tastemakers. We're tastemakers. We decide what looks beautiful. We decide how to make something look beautiful. We decide what collection of colors make something beautiful. We are tastemakers. And the longer you've been an artist, the better you are at being a tastemaker. No matter what you do, you're good at tastemaking. Your Pinterest boards are probably beautiful if you're an artist because you know how to put together a collection of images you didn't create that look good together. If you write a blog and you're an artist, it's probably more beautifully written. Even if you're not a good writer, it's probably more beautifully written because you know what sounds good. You've read a lot of books. You know what makes a good story. There's just so much behind being an artist and being good at any kind of art field, web design, graphic design, all the digital arts, plus all the handmade arts, all of those arts, writing arts, all of the arts have a tastemaker ability. We know what is good, we know what looks good, and we know how to get there. And if we don't know how to get there, we learn how to get there based on the tool we're using.
Yep. It's the Malcolm Gladwell, it's the concept of the 10,000 hours, that you are an expert at something after you've done it for 10,000 hours. And I mean, I don't want to like strain my neck by patting myself on the back too much. But I think what has made me, and someone like you as well, some of us that are all in each other's orbit, like what has made us good at AI is not that we spent 10,000 hours learning AI. It's that we spent 10,000 hours learning our craft before AI existed, before even jumping in. And then we've got the curiosity to come in and say, how can AI help make this better? And for your artists, it's not how can AI make my art better? It's how can AI make my art business better?
Exactly. Exactly. And I do have AI artists in my group, and I have digital artists, AI artists, and handmade artists. They all belong in the same pool, and I know that in the near future I'll be able to convince them of this more easily and it will become more second nature. It just takes a little bit of time, and I know that. I remember when Photoshop came out in the 90s, and everyone, every artist, every print illustrator, every print mock up, every magazine, everyone was screaming from the rooftops, this is cheating, it's fake, it's ugly, it's
Yep.
awful, it's everything that they're saying about AI. And I have been through this before. And you know
My
what I did when Photoshop came out? I went and started learning how to use it.
yep.
And that's exactly what I wanted to do with AI. I wanted to learn how to use it. It's a tool. It's another tool. These are tools. Just like paintbrushes are tools. I mean, can you imagine? I bet a caveman screamed at another person, "You're cheating, you're cheating. You have a paintbrush. You have paints in a tube. That's cheating. You don't have to mix on a in a wood thing,
The
mix some
sienna
bearings
with
in
the
water."
yes.
That every tool that comes out, and this is a very drastic tool. It's a really big tool, and so I get that. It's like more of a pushback because it's bigger than Photoshop. It's bigger than all of that.
It
Yeah.
is. And I think that part of the blowback, it's so interesting that you bring up Photoshop at this point because so my husband is a photojournalist. He's been doing it for almost 30 years. And so he was there when Photoshop became a thing. And in newsrooms all across, it was like, oh, the integrity of the journalistic, like Photoshop has not changed the integrity of photojournalism, for the record.
Mm-mm.
But there are settings in Photoshop that are specifically named and based off of processes that you only use in the darkroom, like dodge
Mm.
and burn.
Yeah.
And if you've never developed a photo, I mean, not since like high school photo class, what one semester, but I like never really developed a photo in the photo room. So I had no idea when I started learning Photoshop what dodge and burn meant. So I think some of the hesitations you would know better than I am because you work with artists day in and day out. I work with a different type, I mean, graphic designers, but I think part of the hesitation is because we all know that the models were trained on art created by humans. And just like that dodge and burn within Photoshop, like, wait a minute, you're now creating this like digitized version of something that I used to have to work really hard for. So there's like that like icky feeling about it. There is an ickiness, and we saw it with was it Studio Ghibli, where
Mm.
everybody was
Yeah.
creating all of the versions using that style
Yes.
from someone that actually like made that, and that's their artistic style. And so there's that like little bit of ickiness factor to it where I can see people having a hesitation, especially in the artistic community, knowing that, hey, the reason it can do these things is because we honed this craft over hundreds of years. Like artists have honed this craft over thousands of years. So I
It's
I don't
interesting
know.
though, because having made AI art for 2 years now, or two and a half almost,
Yeah.
the what's interesting about that thought is that yes, it did scrape the internet. It did take the art, compile it all together, and make it. What's really interesting, because I do AI art every single day because I have a daily challenge, and I need to make an image for that daily challenge every single day. And what I have learned is that it has huge limitations. Sure, it can make something that looks like a Studio Ghibli image, but if you are a fan of Studio Ghibli, you see immediately the nuances that are missing in an AI version of Studio Ghibli versus their actual art. There are so many nuances missing, just like the Rembrandt painting. There are nuances missing. There are details, there are texture, there's so much missing. The other thing is that no matter how hard I've tried, I cannot replicate my own illustration art with AI. And I have tried multiple times, many, many times, because
Interesting.
I find it fascinating. My very first test for AI was to see if it could make my illustration art. That was my first test for it. Am I going to use this tool if anyone could make my exact art? And it couldn't. It could not even come close. So, yes, it scraped all the art. But guess what? It never replicates that same exact thing ever again because it takes thousands of images,
Yeah.
compiles them together, merges pixels until you get something that looks like a something, right? Even if I prompt the same prompt again, I never ever get the same image twice, ever.
Right. Right.
Never, never, ever, ever. No matter how hard I try. Even if I upload that same image and say, hey, make this image again. No, it will make something different. It might have the same color palette. It might have the same structure or the same spacing that is in the image, but it's not going to be the same image again because AI is set up to not make the same image again, first of all, to not ever replicate an image, and to constantly be mixing thousands and millions of pixels together to make the new image each time. So each time you're getting this brand new iteration. So I don't know. I feel so torn about that idea that they stole Studio Ghibli's style because to me, when I see those images, they don't look like their style. Their style is so unique and so nuanced, and it's missing a lot of that depth in the AI version, in my
Mm.
opinion.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. And people make the Mona Lisa over and over again, right? With AI, or the girl with the pearl earring, or they make these pieces. But isn't that how we all learned how to make art in art school?
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, I was taught to how to paint like Rembrandt. Well, then where is the argument? How valid is the argument now all of a sudden? Because I was taught how to paint exactly like another person to learn how to paint.
I, okay. So I did not go to art school, but this is my nerdy moment of the
Okay.
episode. So my senior year of high school, I took AP music theory. And I was the only person in that class who was not in band. I
Oh,
was I was in choir, which made it really difficult when one of our assignments was to compose in 18th century Bach counterpoint. So we learned music theory by learning how to compose like Bach. Huh. I had not, Bloom, I had not thought about it like that. Like we all learn that way. We learn through imitation
mm-hmm,
and then we all put our own spin on things.
mm-hmm. And it's a back to human again, right? It's the individual, unique human that makes an individual, unique thing, whether it's with AI, a paintbrush, a piece of clay, a digital app like Photoshop,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, it's the unique individual human that's making it special and interesting.
Huh. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's obvious when you say it out loud, but I have all of these hangups and hesitations about it. And I'm so glad we're having this conversation because I feel like I needed it to click. I needed it to click in my head like, oh, of course. Of course. We're all trained like that. I mean, I've got like here on my bookshelf right next to me, I've got Steal Like an Artist.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
that book. And it's so we know better. We know better. I feel like I need to for for people who are listening who are not familiar with how the models were trained. And I know I have probably given this example before in a super early episode, but I want to make sure that the creators of AI didn't hand the AI a Rembrandt and say, this is a Rembrandt. I mean, they might have, but that wasn't the point. It was trained, like Bloom said, on millions of pieces, but each one of those pieces had descriptions with it. So when the AI was learning, what is a turtle? It had millions of photographs, children's drawings, animations from Disney. It like all, but it's a photo of a turtle on land, a turtle in water, a turtle swimming, a turtle walking. And so it's this idea of like, okay, the AI has to figure out what is the common thread in all of these images. Oh, it's this thing that's got this like shell and these feet. And so it's figuring out through context that this thing is turtle. So when you ask it for a turtle, it knows through all of that context and all of those millions of pixels, okay, this is turtle.
Mhm.
And when you say you want a turtle that is drawn in the illustrative style of Blume Bauer, it might, probably doesn't, but might have, if you it's like Studio Ghibli, then it's going to take all of the examples that it has and be like, oh, that is this specific style. Now let's mix that with what we know. This is turtle. And it's going to spit that out. But it's all just guessing. It's all just, it's taking in as much context as it can in how it was trained and then outputting what it thinks you want. If you ask for it in an oil painting style, it will do that. If you ask for it as a certain photographic style taken with a certain camera and a certain lens at this time of day in this
Mhm.
type of ocean versus a lake, it's going to mix all of those factors together to give you turtle based on what it knows of all of those factors. So
That
that
reminds
is,
me too. That reminds me too of how so AI is trained on images on the internet,
yes.
public images on the internet. An image of the Mona Lisa is not the same as seeing the Mona Lisa with your eyes. A photograph of the Mona Lisa is not the same. It flattens it, it
Hmm.
changes the lighting, everything about it. The perspective can be changed. So it just justifies my argument for handmade art being so valuable because we all know as handmade artists, when we try to take a picture of our painting so we can make prints of it and sell the prints of the painting, we know that that print is not as good as the original
Yep.
because it doesn't have the texture, the nuance and color. The lighting changes some of it. Everything about it changes to many degrees. So even though the AI was trained on photographs of art, it's not still getting all the nuances of the actual art
Yes.
because it's just not possible.
You mentioned print.
Mm-hmm.
I want to we're running out of time, but I
I
don't
know.
I don't want to leave this conversation without, okay. So you have a very specific story about printed art and maybe some textiles that I want to talk to you about. Bloom, let's talk about your leggings.
Okay. Yeah. When we moved here to the Oregon coast, my husband and I moved here with like $1,000 in our pocket and no plan. We had no friends, no family here, nothing. But we found this cabin on the lake and we just had to live here. Like it was just, it must be. It must be. And it was 30 days later, we were here. And we spent the first little bit just like living like retired people and exploring the area and just living our best lives. And then we both said, okay, I'm kind of antsy. We should probably go back to work.
Yeah.
But we didn't know what we were going to do. And he found his dream job on the lake. And for me, I started a blog early on talking about our moving here and how it all happened and how if you want something bad enough you can make anything happen because that is really what happened for us.
Yeah.
It really wasn't like we were millionaires and we could just move anywhere we wanted or just do anything we wanted in life. We did what we wanted it so badly that we made it happen, and I strongly believe in that, and that's why I wrote the blog, started the blog. So I had this website and I was at the same time I was seeing LuLaRoe and all these companies make all of these wildly printed leggings and I thought they were really fun. I was like, how fun is this that we're finally wearing clothes that are like fun and wild and funky because I've always loved clothing and colors and all of that kind of thing. And I had a clothing business for belly dancers back in the day in the 2000s. I kept looking at these leggings and going, they're so cute, but not for me. It's so cute, but not for me. And so I finally said, why don't I make some that are for me? And I gave myself this challenge and I decided to make a new legging every day for 90 days leading into the holidays.
Oh my
And
gosh.
because I had, long story short, had found this print on demand that would print my designs on the surface, on the fabric, make the leggings, send them out. And I was like, okay, I'm hooked. Let's do this. And
Wait,
I want,
okay. They made, you weren't just printing the fabric, they printed the leggings themselves.
yeah, they would print the fabric with my design, my art, and then cut and sew the leggings and mail them out. And
Oh my
so
gosh.
this idea that I could do more than just print a design in the middle of a t-shirt was so exciting to me because I just love big bold prints and colors and clothes that are interesting. And so it just really got caught my eye. And like I said, none of these other leggings were fulfilling
Hmm.
my wants, my needs. And I thought, well, maybe other people will want what I like too. And so I started making these big bold florals and nature prints, and it just it grew like wildfire because people were in this, they were already trained to like leggings, they were already trained to like these bolder prints, but then all of a sudden I had these prints that didn't exist yet, and that just drew people, and people started
Ah.
certain types of prints, and it went and went and went and went, and still to this day I'm still selling them all the time. It was this really fun experiment and challenge to myself to try something cool and fun and funky that worked out fabulously. And a couple of years ago, I was sitting there looking at my inbox of sales. You wake up in the morning and you see your sales and you go,
Hmm.
"Wonderful. I've made some more income today," and you're super glad. And I just thought all of a sudden that I have to teach this to other artists. I have to teach them how to have a sustainable art business. Trying to have an art business originally by making painting after painting that takes me 3 to 6 months each painting is not sustainable. You have to know a person in a gallery. You have to get shown in the gallery. You have to get someone to want your art to buy it from you in the gallery.
Yep.
It's a big process that most artists never make. And that's a shame because then so much art is not being seen, so much art is not being shared. But people can buy your art on a t-shirt. They can buy it on a card. How many greeting cards have you bought with beautiful art on the front because you couldn't afford the painting on the wall that was
Yep.
$15,000, but you could afford this $1.50 greeting card? And so
Yep.
all of
The
a sudden,
museum postcards from the gift
yes,
shop. Yep.
yes. All of a sudden, you make art affordable for people. Everyone wants art. They just can't all buy it.
Yeah.
And so you amplify your ability to make money with your art by having it on multiple surfaces. So,
Oh,
it's
this is such a full circle piece of the story. That's amazing.
yeah, it's so fun and I love it and I still do it. And actually, I'm in the process of revamping my whole boutique and online store because I had merged my illustration with my digital art and it just was messy in my mind. It didn't make sense. And so now I'm separating it all out. I'm redesigning everything as far as like where as restructuring everything so that I can continue to make those products to show artists my process, how to do it, how they can do it with their art, and how they can have money coming in while they're sleeping in their pajamas, while they're off on a girls' trip for the weekend. It's so fun to get that ding on my phone and I'm sitting at lunch with a friend, or I'm off at an Airbnb at the ocean with a friend. I'm off doing these fun things, or I wake up in the morning and there are the sales. And that is so empowering as an artist. I don't have to find that art gallery owner that will take a chance on me, that will take 50% of my sale, that will treat me poorly if I'm not somebody yet. I don't have to take that whole process. I can take my art make it every day, make art all every day, and get it out there to the masses in multiple fashions and make a sustainable living.
I love this so much. I'm so grateful that you are sharing this experience with the artist community, with my community. Thank you so much. So, if my listeners want to connect with you, want to work with you, how can they do that?
I have a few different ways. Of course, as I mentioned before, I go live 5 nights a week on YouTube. So come see me on YouTube. Come check out the replays. Every single video has a replay. I teach something new every single night. We've done processes all the way from start to beginning, like from ideation to finished product, to listing it, to marketing it. Just we're having a blast over there too. So come and join us there.
What's
And
the channel
then,
called?
oh, it's just at Blume Bauer. I'm
Okay.
at Blume Bauer across all channels. It does say once you get there, Blume Bauer, the yellow studio, but I keep it simple. I'm at Blume Bauer everywhere. That way I'm easy to find. And it's Bauer and Blume, not Bloom. So
We'll link to all of those in the show notes for everybody.
yeah. And so then the other place to come get more of me and more advice and actually start getting your business going is my new community open studio. I just did a soft launch last week. We have a handful of people in there
Oh,
already.
nice.
It's really exciting. It's the price of a cup of coffee per month to come and have access to me, to ask me questions, to get tips and advice, to get new tool tips, POD drops, print on demand drops. I share when there are new products or share a featured product, that sort of thing. There's lots in there. It's a really special place where people are lifting each other up and helping each other be confident in their businesses. And I am the world's best cheerleader. So if you need that, come join me.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. And then I also do consulting. You can go to theyellowstudio.com and go to my consulting page, and I do one-on-one consulting if you really want that sort of help where you want handheld one-on-one advice on how to get your business growing in the different formats. I start with I don't even know where to start.
Yep.
And then I go to how to set up your print on demand shop and then into marketing. So you can choose whichever option fits for you. And yeah, I'm kind of available
You're all
everywhere you
over the
want
place.
to find.
I love it. I love it. Well, Blume, thank you so much for sharing your genius with us, for sharing your ideas, and quite honestly, for challenging some of the preconceived notions that I had before going into this conversation. So thank you. Thank you for that. Queens, I'm going to put all of those links to Blume in all of her places in the show notes. And again, that's Blume Bauer, BlumeBauer, Blume Bauer. And she's all over the place. But check out her Yellow Studio YouTubes 5 nights a week. Thanks again for joining us, and we will see you again next week.
Thank you so much, Erica. This has been so much fun.
Thanks for listening to the AI Queens podcast. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow queen who needs to hear this. Want more tools and tips? Join the AI Queens Society over at aiqueens.com and start ruling your business with confidence today. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and keep reigning with AI.